Welcome to another installment of What Would Lisa Say, where Lisa Ryan, relationship expert and women's advocate, offers quotable advice you can apply to sticky situations.
Hi, I'm Lisa Ryan with counselingforbusypeople.com. I help people find the language to better represent themselves when they feel frustrated or tongue-tied. And they are so relieved when they have the words to say that I created a weekly video series to help you too. Send us your scenarios and questions via the link below, and maybe we'll feature yours next week.
Welcome to another installment of What Would Lisa Say, where Lisa Ryan, relationship expert and women's advocate, responds to followers' situations with quotable advice, which I love. Lisa?
Hi there, my name's Lisa Ryan, and this is Erin Smith, and I'm here to do what I do with, for my clients. My clients contact me all the time via text message and say, this is the idea that I'm trying to get him to understand, and I will give them the language, and it often works, much of the time, and they're so relieved and they're so grateful. And I thought we could do this for you. So we set up a system, and maybe you can access it yourself on what is it?
counselingforbusypeople.com/contact.
And send us your questions, and I'll give you the language so your idea will land, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, we're having fun with this because we've tried it both ways, and I shoot better from the hip, so I have no idea what this question is. You're just going to believe me or don't believe me. I have no idea.
No.
It's just that I think better than I remember. So well, what's the next one?
All right, so this week we are talking about, we have heard from a woman from the UK.
Okay.
And she wanted to remain anonymous, and so we're going to honor that and not share her name. And she writes, I moved into my fiance's house 3 years ago. I love interior design, and he gave me free rein to decorate and change the decor however I wanted. Over the past 3 years, his mother, who lives nearby, has objected to almost every change in subtle and not so subtle ways. One of the not so subtle ways happens around the holidays when she gifts hideous artwork or knickknacks to my husband. We both hate the decorations, but we feel obligated to display them so as not to hurt her feelings. I'm worried that this year she will do it again. Is there anything I can say or do to get out of having to amass a collection of mismatched things that don't go with the decor I've been working so hard on?
That's a tough one. Did you say she lives in England?
Yes,
and
the mother.
And the mother-in-law lives in England.
It says she lives
too?
nearby. Yeah,
nearby.
Nearby.
Ooh, nearby is a problem.
So not far. Yeah.
Well, it takes me back to my mother used to do that. Unfortunately, she lived in Florida, so she would bring very small things in her suitcase, and I would put them in a box, and I would label it like mom's stuff, so that whenever she came to visit, I would pull out the box like mom stuff, because we had completely different tastes. Yeah. But I loved that she loved me, and I would gush every time she gave me something that I just couldn't stand. And when she left, I put it in the box. But this won't do, because she's there all the time.
Oh, she's always around.
I think a conversation has to take place with, I love your artwork. It just would be like tremendous in your home. It's probably not something that would work for me. And I was wondering, especially with this latest painting that you gave to us, we already had an idea in mind to put there. Would you be able to use it in your home?
Oh,
what do you think?
That. Yeah, putting it back on her, right? Because it sounds like it's, we don't know, but it sounds like it could be her style instead of
regifting.
Regifting. Right back at you, Mom.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a tough one because she lives so close.
I know. I like that idea though of hiding the box and hiding the stuff until they come. But yeah, if they're popping by
if she's
unannounced,
local, it's like bummer. Well, she shouldn't be popping by unannounced, right?
Well, hopefully that's not the case.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Well, I mean, unless it works for everybody, right?
Right.
And I don't know who
that
many people
for.
that works for. No. Not in the United States anyway. But I don't think birds are that much different. So that would be my answer. It is conversation. I love your taste. It's not my taste, and when I walk into your home, I think it's exquisite. I hope when you walk into our home, you also feel that it's exquisite, and let me give you my color scheme.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, do you have this conversation one-on-one between her and the mother, or is it the husband and the wife together speak to her?
I think in this instance, a husband and wife talking to the mother would make the mother feel ganged up on.
Okay.
I would probably do it, woman to woman, because it's decorating and it's let me be sexist here. It's more of a female thing than a guy thing. So
especially in this story, I mean, she moved in and the husband said, "Free reign, you can do whatever you want."
Usually I don't take the guy off the hook at all, but in this instance, because it's like free reign, I would just be very respectful and very complimentary of her taste in her home, but that you have an entirely different style, and what works in her home wouldn't necessarily work in yours. However exquisite her gifts have been, where could she perhaps use them in her home?
I love it. Again, with dispensing the wisdom. I hope you guys were writing that down, taking notes. I sure was. I'm gonna go back to the recording and watch it again.
Yeah. Well, the only other thing that I can recommend is to start a fire and start all over again. Oh my God!
Start throwing it in.
Can you imagine having to live with 5
God.
dog things in your family room that you didn't? Oh my God!
Nothing to do with. That's terrible. I mean, personally, I love interior design as well, so I can understand not wanting other people to give, especially repeatedly. And it sounds like it's an overture. She's trying to say, I don't like what you've done with the place. Why don't you try my taste instead? And maybe she had something to do with helping her husband.
Yeah, mothers do that too.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, not just mothers-in-law. Mothers do that too. I had one client who she purchased the house that she was raised in from her parents, and her mother would come over and say, "The sheets don't belong here. The towels don't belong here. Why is the soup here? The soup belongs over here."
Right.
She's like, "Mom, you don't live here anymore. This is my home, right?" So they sorted it out with a conversation, right?
Yeah.
And it didn't dawn on the mother until she was told. So, and she behaved very well after the fact. So.
Well, if any of you out there are struggling with your own situation where you just don't know what to say, ask Lisa, because she probably does. counselingforbusypeople.com/contact.
Say that again.
counselingforbusypeople.com/contact.
Great. I look forward to hearing from you. Take care now.
See you next week.